Hello everyone and welcome back to a new weekly vlog. I am actually kicking off this vlog with an unboxing because this parcel arrived today and I believe that these are my Grace and Honey Christmas candles, which I cannot wait to unbox. Oh my god, these look beautiful. I am just going to take the packaging off and then I will show you guys the candles. Okay, so I've taken most of the packaging out, but I'm hoping I can show you without them falling. This is what they look like. I have 5 because there are 5 of the Christmas candles. We have this first one, which is Merry Bookmas, and the scent of this one is cherry, cloves, cinnamon and amber. Next up we have this one, which is Happy Holidays, and this smells of peppermint, vanilla, cream and marzipan. You can definitely smell the marzipan in this and also the peppermint, and honestly, what more could you want in a Christmas candle? Then we have Snow Day Stories, and this smells of citrus, snow and musk. And then the 2 we have left, I think these are both my favourites. I can't really choose between them because I really like both. But the first of those is Yule Must Ball, which smells of red pears, something that I definitely can't pronounce, and purple basil. And then lastly we have Fireside Fiction, and the scent of this one is white cocoa, cookies and vanilla. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, it smells so nice. I was going to try and hold them all in shot, but I don't think that's going to work. But those are all of the candles that I got. If you don't know, Grace and Honey is actually owned by Becca from Becca and the Books here on YouTube, and I have been obsessed with her candles for about 2 years now, I think. It's been quite a long time, but I love her content, I want to support her in any way that I can, and luckily candles are some of my favourite things ever. I burn them so often that I go through quite a lot, so having a booktuber that I can buy candles from is just absolutely amazing. So I will leave Becca's information down below for you guys, as well as the link to the Grace and Honey website. I'm not sure if there's stock on it at the minute. I know Becca has had a lot of demand recently, and so she's been scheduling some releases, so just be aware of that. But yeah, I'm so happy with these. I'm so glad that I managed to get my hands on them, and I just cannot wait for Christmas, guys. So you know I'll be burning them as soon as possible. Right, actually getting into this vlog now. It's currently November 9th, which means that it is the month of Believathon. As you've probably noticed, I don't have a weekly reading vlog up for the first week of Believathon. Life has been crazy, which you wouldn't think considering we're in a lockdown, but I'm a full-time uni student, I also work, I've had assignments, and it's just been a crazy week. So luckily now I've finished everything I need to do. I've literally just submitted my assignment about an hour ago, and it's just a massive weight lifted off my shoulders, and now I can actually dedicate some time to reading, which I'm so excited about because I have the most amazing list of books to read this month, and if you haven't seen which books I'll be reading, then please check out my TBR. But the first book that I actually need to read for Believathon is First Class Murder by Robin Stevens. Now this is the 3rd book in the A Murder Most Unladylike mystery series, and I really enjoy these books. I definitely preferred the second one to the first, so make sure you read the first just so you can carry on with the rest of the books. Oh, I don't have a bookmark in at the minute, but I'm around 100 pages in, I want to say. I think I'm on page 94, which is chapter 8, so I've read this much, which isn't too bad, but I'm really enjoying this. So as you can probably tell from the cover and the title, this is a murder mystery set on a train, or more specifically the famous Orient Express. If you know me, you know that Agatha Christie is one of my favourite writers ever. I absolutely love her books, and the Murder on the Orient Express is one of my absolute favourites. So this was definitely going to be a hit for me. I don't know how much I can say about this one because it is the 3rd book in a series, but obviously we don't follow the same murders and things throughout every book. It is a different murder for each book, so I guess I could tell you what this is. I feel like with these you don't have to read them in order. It definitely helps because obviously the first book we are introduced to the characters and their relationships with each other and all of that, but now that I'm sort of familiar with them, it's quite easy just to pick it up and fall into the mystery, and I don't think it really matters in what order you pick them up. This one says, Daisy Wells and Hazel Wong are taking a holiday on the famous Orient Express. From the moment they step aboard, it's clear that everyone in the first class carriage has something to hide. Then a scream is heard and a wealthy heiress is found murdered, but the killer has vanished as if into thin air. Daisy and Hazel must solve their first locked room mystery and face competition from several other detectives who are every bit as determined. Like I said, said, I am really enjoying it so far. The murder has just occurred and it seems like a very complicated case, but as is the case with the murder on the Orient Express, we are in a confined space with a certain amount of people, and all those people seem to have something to hide, so it's very, very interesting seeing everything play out. And now that I don't have any uni work to do, I am gonna sit down tonight and hopefully finish this. I actually finished the first book in this series in a day, and I think it took me like 2 days to finish the second book, so these are definitely quick reads. I think I just get sucked into the mystery of it, and I love to play detective and try and figure things out, so I don't think it'll be too difficult for me to finish the rest of this book tonight. I haven't started anything else yet, but as soon as I do, I will let you know. So for now, I am just going to sit down and devour this book. Hi guys, so I have finally finished First Class Murder by Robin Stevens. I didn't finish it on the night that I was last speaking to you, but I did finish it last night and I really enjoyed this one. I have given it a 3-star rating on Goodreads though, because even though I enjoyed it, for some reason it was a lot harder for me to get through than the first 2 books in the series. Also, it did wrap up kind of quickly. I would have liked to see more of the consequences of things rather than them just sort of solving the case and then moving on again. But I did really enjoy the nods towards Agatha Christie's The Murder on the Orient Express. I believe this murder occurs a year after that book is actually published, so Daisy is currently reading that book whilst they're on the train, and obviously the murder happens and they sort of draw parallels to Agatha Christie's novel, and that does ultimately help them solve the case, so I really did enjoy that. I also love when a group of people are confined in one specific place and a murder occurs, because it seems like every single person had a motive. So it's a very long and tedious process of trying to figure out who had the most to gain out of this situation and eliminate the rest of them. So overall, I did enjoy it, but not as much as the other 2. Like I said, it was mainly just a point of I would have liked to see what happened to the characters, not even just the perpetrator, but just the different people that were on the train. I would like to have followed their stories a bit further and see why certain characters did what they did, because there's one character especially, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but we never really get any sort of conclusion about the character, about their past, anything like that, and I feel like it would have been a really interesting route to go down. I don't know if I'm quite making sense. I feel like in my head it makes sense, but when I'm trying to explain it, it doesn't, so I am sorry about that. If you do have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And then I am currently on chapter 27 out of 33 of Dragon Mountain by Katie and Kevin Sang. So I have an hour left and I listened to it at 2 times the speed, so I technically have half an hour left, which is brilliant. I am going to make some tea now, so I will listen to this as I cook. I was planning on listening to it whilst doing a jigsaw puzzle, but honestly, I don't have the patience for that tonight. I've sat down and I've tried my best, but oh, I'm getting nowhere and I just can't be asked for that tonight basically, so I'm giving up on that. I'm gonna make some tea, listen to my audiobook whilst doing so, and then who knows, I might start a sprinkle of Sorcery, which is the next physical book that I need to read, but I'm just gonna go with the flow. Gonna see how tonight pans out, because I always say I'm gonna do something and then I end up not doing it. I'm not gonna set any expectations for myself. I'm gonna let myself have a bit of free reign as to what I want to do. But before I leave you, I have all these parcels to unbox and I thought, why not include it in this vlog? I was doing really well with not buying books because I really want to tackle my owned TBR and to get it down quite a bit before the end of the year. Don't think that's gonna happen, because basically I wanted to buy some Christmas books so I could read them next month, and I think I went a bit overboard. And then on top of that, Waterstones was having their double stamps offer, so every £10 you spent you get 1 stamp, but obviously every £10 you spent during the double stamps you'd get 2 stamps, and so I went a bit crazy. I don't know what order these books are going to appear. Okay, so I think these ones are my Christmas books. Let me just get them out. Yes, so I have The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding, which is a collection of short stories, I believe, and I think they are all Poirot short stories, so I'm very excited for that. I'm not sure if they're all Christmas stories actually, because looking at it, they all have different names, and one of them here is Grenshaw's Folly, and I have watched the ITV adaptation of that, and I don't believe it's Christmassy. So I might end up just reading the first story in December, which is The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. But then I do also have Hercule Poirot's Christmas by Agatha Christie once again. There isn't a synopsis on this from what I can see, so again, I don't know what I'll be diving into, but I kind of prefer that with Agatha Christie books because I feel like you just need to get thrown into the mystery and not have any expectations going in. But look at this cover, it's absolutely beautiful. And then we do have these end papers, which definitely gets me in the Christmas spirit. Next up, we'll go for this one. Okay, so these aren't actually books. Oh, I'm so glad. Right, HMV were actually having a 3 for £15 deal, and so I bought 3 DVDs that I've been desperately wanting. And if you don't know me, I collect the exclusive covers for all of these, and so I needed to add these to my collections anyway, so this was the perfect opportunity because HMV normally does 2 for £12, but obviously 3 for £15 is a much better deal, so I decided to grab them whilst they were there. The first one is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. The second one is Onward, and then the last one, and the one I'm most excited about because I have all of the other DVDs in this collection, it's Frozen 2, guys, and look at this cover. This is one of my all-time favourite films. I've watched it so many times now, I've lost count, and I always cry. It's just such a tearjerker for me, and when I saw that this exclusive cover was out, I had to buy it. And you never know with buying online if you're going to get these or not, but luckily I did get all 3 of the covers that I wanted, which is brilliant. I'm just so happy. So I do have all 57 of the Disney classics in these editions, and I love them so much. Oh, okay, this was actually a pre-order, and it is the Camelot Betrayal by Kirsten White. I read the Guinevere Deception about a year ago, I believe now, and I really enjoyed it. I'm very particular about Arthurian legends and retellings of that because what most people don't know is that King Arthur is first ever mentioned in a Welsh text, which is known as the Mabinogion. So he has a few appearances in there, and so when people say he's like an English monarch, I get a bit annoyed. Because he was first created as part of the Welsh literature. Anyway, I loved the Guinevere Deception. It was just the type of story that I needed at the time that I was reading it, and I honestly cannot wait to dive into this book. Not gonna lie, I've kind of forgotten what the first book was about. I sort of remember the beginning and the ending, just not the middle bit, so I might have to watch a few book talks or discussion videos just to refresh my mind. I don't want to reread it because I remember enough, I just don't remember the little details that might affect the second book, if that makes sense. But I'm so happy that this is finally out and that I have it. Don't know when I'll be reading it because my TBR for the rest of this year is absolutely huge, but hopefully it will be soon. Okay, the last parcel is actually a Christmas present for my boyfriend, so I can't show you that, but I hope you enjoyed this little haul. I don't normally show the DVDs that I buy, so if you are interested in that, please let me know. I'm so excited to have all of these. Believe it or not, there are more books that are due to be delivered to me, so this isn't all of it. I will probably show you the rest once they arrive, but for now I'm going to make my tea and hopefully finish Dragon Mountain. Hello, I'm here to close out this vlog. Firstly though, please excuse my eye. I'm just seeing that it looks absolutely awful, and I don't know why, but around this time every year my eyes tend to get really bad, and I'm not sure if it's anything to do with the fact that I did have a really bad sort of facial infection last year, and I don't know if because of that my eyes now are just really bad in this weather and that sort of thing. I don't know. If you guys have any idea, please let me know. I do take allergy tablets every day. I have a cat, so I take it for that, but also because my eyes are so sensitive. So I am trying to solve it. I don't really want to go to the doctors because with everything going on right now, I don't really want to be putting myself or anyone else at risk, so I'd rather just try and deal with it. So yeah, sorry that you need to look at this awful face today, but I do really need to wrap up this vlog because I have actually read quite a bit, and it is Monday now, so I do need to finish this and edit it and get it up on my channel. So this week, you guys know that I did manage to read First Class Murder by Robin Stephens, and I have talked about this, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Then you saw me reading Dragon Mountain, and I did actually finish that, and I did end up giving it 4 stars. Now I realised I didn't actually tell you what this was about. I didn't really know myself because, as you saw, I was listening to the audiobook and I just went straight into it without any real expectations. But the premise of the story is that 12-year-old Billy Chan gets sent to a summer camp in the middle of China, I believe, to learn Mandarin. When he gets there, he meets a few other campers and they become friends, and one of the first tasks that they get in this camp is to go on a sort of treasure hunt type of thing. So they get given a clue and they then have to try and solve it with each other and go out and get the things that they need to and then bring them back to the camp. However, during this task, something strange happens to all of them, and when they get back to camp and try and tell people, no one believes them. But they are actually not crazy, and there is a reason that these things are happening. And I don't want to say anything else because I feel like it's going to spoil it, but I will say that there are some dragons and there is an age-long conflict that these children need to help them solve. I really enjoyed this book. It was really funny. The fact that it has dragons in it just automatically makes me love it. I adore dragons in any type of setting, and it was just a really fun high-stakes novel with quite a few twists and turns along the way, and it ended on a really big cliffhanger, so I definitely will be picking up the next book in the series. I have no idea when it'll be out because this was only published on the 3rd of September 2020, so we're gonna have to wait a while for the second one, but it's definitely worth the wait and I would highly recommend this book to you guys. I don't actually know if I showed you this next book. I think that I did because I was listening to it whilst going to and from work, and I did go on a lovely walk the other day, which I'm sure I will have put some footage in, but I did actually listen to The Explorer by Katherine Rundell. So this is what it looks like, and it was actually a book pick for Middle Grade Monthly a while back, which is Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin and Jade from JD Ray Reads Middle Grade Book Club, and I did start it then, but I only got about a chapter in, so I decided to give it a go this month and I started it again. So I did listen to the audiobook of this one because I don't have a physical copy, but the premise of this book is that a group of children are on their way back to England from Manaus when the plane that they're on actually crashes and the pilot dies. So this group of children finds themselves stuck in the Amazon rainforest with no one to help them. So they have to band together to try and make their way through the forest and to get home. However, the Amazon rainforest is filled with terrifying creatures, and so this is very much a survival story. I don't know what I was expecting from this book. I just don't know how I completely feel about it. So I did really enjoy the first half. I enjoyed seeing how the characters coped with being in a different environment with obviously people that they hadn't met before, but you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit because obviously this is a group of children from I think 5 years old to 16 trying to survive in the Amazon rainforest, which is a feat in itself for an adult, let alone children, and the things they do is sometimes unrealistic because I don't think in any situation that some of these things could happen. I also feel like it ended really quickly, so the main focus of this story is their time in the jungle and trying to survive, and it is very much a book with survival at its core, but we don't really see any effect of that by the end of the book. So we do get something which I don't want to spoil because if you're interested in this book you're better off just diving into it not knowing anything, but the way it wrapped up I just wish we had a bit more. I wish we would have seen a lot more of the consequences of what happened, and I would have liked to see how everything was resolved in a way. I don't know if I've done a good job at explaining that. I probably haven't. I feel like my thoughts are a bit all over the place with this one because on one side I did enjoy it and I did enjoy seeing all the different animals in the forest, and I think the authors did do their research because they do give you a sort of in-depth look at all the different animals that are there, because they do give you some facts about the different animals that we see along the way, which is really nice and very informative. I love learning about the Amazon rainforest. I think it's so fascinating. I love seeing how different animals have evolved in order to be able to survive in that environment. So seeing it in a middle grade was really fun. I feel like a lot of kids would really enjoy this because of the different facts and because the characters are played placed in such an unfamiliar situation, you do get to see a lot of interesting scenarios play out, and that works really, really well. But for me, as a 21-year-old reading it, it is definitely unbelievable at some parts, and you just have to remind yourself that this is a middle grade novel and it's aimed towards younger readers who would definitely enjoy seeing all these different types of things go down. So I did give this one a 3.5 stars, but on Goodreads you're not allowed to give half stars, so I have rounded it up to a 4 stars. I think I'm going to watch Gavin and Jade's live show on this book just to hear some of their thoughts, because I feel like it's always nice to listen to other people's opinions about the book, so I definitely want to do that. And then depending on how I feel, I might even write a review about it, which is something I haven't really done, but I definitely do want to start writing reviews for the books that I've read. So yeah, a very fun, enjoyable survival story, but one that requires you to suspend your disbelief. And then lastly, I have started A Sprinkle of Sorcery by Michelle Harrison, and I am currently 114 pages into this. This is the sequel to A Pinch of Magic. I'm not sure if it's a direct sequel. I think you could read this without reading the other one, but guys, I am loving this so much. I did read A Pinch of Magic for the second round of Believathon and fell in love with it, but I didn't actually have a physical copy of these books. I did listen to the audiobook through Scribd, and it's such a good audiobook that I've decided to listen to the audiobook whilst physically reading this, and I feel like I'm just getting such a good experience by doing it that way. And I think the back of this book sums it up pretty well, because I don't want to spoil anything about this. I feel like with these ones, it's honestly one that you have to just dive into, because it takes you on such a wild journey, but it's also really funny and heartwarming at the same time, even though the stakes are quite high. So on this one it says, 3 sisters with a magical secret. A race against time to find a place that exists only in fairy tales. A journey that will take them into unimaginable danger. And yeah, this is so good so far. It's definitely the same sort of vibe as the first one. The plot and structure of this at the minute is quite similar, and I'm not mad about it, because even though it is similar in some aspects, it's quite different in others. This is a lot more fantastical. We do have witches and will-o'-the-wisps in here, which I'm obsessed with, guys. I have such a fascination with fairy tales and things like that anything involving those types of themes is something that I'm just gonna love. I don't know what else I can say about this yet, because I am only about a third of the way through. Just know that I am loving it so far. I honestly feel like I could finish the rest of it today, but like I said, I'm not going to update you guys any further. You'll have to check out my next reading vlog to see my thoughts on this one, but I do have a feeling that it's going to be another 5-star read. So that is it for the second week of Believathon, but technically my first week, because I didn't really read anything in the first week of Believathon, but I've smashed through it this week. I have completed 3 prompts and I'm in the middle of my 4th. I don't think I mentioned what the prompts were actually, so I will just go on the Believathon Twitter and tell you which book corresponds to which prompt. So the first prompt was the key. In order to receive the key, you must read a mystery. And for that one, I read First Class Murder. Prompt number 2 is the fingerprints. In order to receive the fingerprints, you must read a book written by an author from a different culture than you. And for that one, I read Dragon Mountain. Prompt number 3 is the scream. In order to receive the scream, you must listen to an audiobook or read a book out loud. And for that one, I listened to The Explorer. And then the 4th prompt is the torn page. In order to receive the torn page, you must read a book with supernatural elements. And this is the prompt that I'll be using A Sprinkle of Sorcery for. If you want any more information on Believathon, I will leave all the links relating to the readathon down below for you guys. If you've watched all the way through, please leave a magnifying glass emoji, because obviously the theme of Believathon 3 is a mystery type of vibe. Also, let me know what you guys are reading, if you're reading some of the same books that I am. I would love to know. Whilst you're down there, don't forget to click the like button as well as the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!